things that's positive, to promote positivity, stop the violence, put the guns down, help out the kids and just do things that's going to uplift our people. So if you would like to volunteer or donate, you can also call me at 424-653-7663. Let's get into the show, ladies. How we feel?
I'm feeling wonderful, wonderful. Got some little questions tonight that's probably going to make your skin itch, but I want to know what you have to say. I want to know what you're thinking.
Let's get it.
All right, Aisha, you ready?
I'm ready.
Next, Wendy Williams.
I'm ready.
All right. So my first question, make sure you jot down our telephone number. The number is 570-763-9675. That's 570-763-WMSK. So my first question for the night. All right. Is it okay for a married man to co-sign on an apartment for his baby's mother?
That's deep. Who want to start with that? So I know that would be tough for a lot of relationships. But I also feel like that goes into what type of relationship does the wife and the child's mom have. Some people have good relationships with their significant other's wife or husband and the person they had a child with. If you don't have a good relationship with that person, I think that would be extremely hard to pull off for any man or woman that's in that marriage. Me, personally, I think if we had that arrangement, the woman would have to be on her, like really be going through something for me to even approach my wife with that. That's something deep to approach your wife with. Even though I'm not married, just knowing how women are, that's deep to approach your wife with that type of request. Like, look, man, my baby mother's struggling. I want to go help her out. And your girlfriend probably, or your wife probably like, man, we got our own family, you know what I'm saying? So I know it would be deep. You married though, Neeuq? What you think?
So this would be the thing. Okay, Wesley, I understand your baby mother is having issues. If your children need somewhere to stay, you go get custody and they can come live here. Because there's no way, shape, or form will you be paying for an apartment for your child's mother. Because then does that mean you have an open invitation to go over there because technically it is your house?
But wait a minute. You didn't say anything about paying.
I'm about to say too.
You didn't say anything about paying. You just said co-sign.
See, that's a difference. It's a
big difference. I'm just chime in really quickly because if I'm co-signing, that means that that's my credit. That means that if she chooses not to pay for it, I am, and we, because we a unit, we are responsible. I'm not taking care of the baby mother. She said she wasn't going to talk. But I'm not paying. I'm not taking care of another grown woman. I'm with you on that. Oh, we need to take care of your kids? Okay, well then bring your kids here and let her figure that out. She's an adult. She is not our responsibility.
Absolutely.
She's her own responsibility. That child is our responsibility. That's it. That's
because the truth of the matter is, if you're going to be silly enough to co-sign for me, now I have you in the middle of my palm and I can do whatever. So I'm not going to pay the rent. You're paying our rent.
I mean, I get that. But again, that's why I said I think it goes back to the style of relationship. Because I guarantee you one thing, you can get people that can call in or comment that will say, oh, I don't have a problem with that because such and such and such and such. There are some wives and husbands out here that have good relationships with their exes. And the woman is cool with it too. I'm not telling you to agree with it. I'm just telling you, I guarantee you, it's people out here that's doing it all the time.
Okay, but it is no, I mean, you can have a great relationship. Your responsibility is your children. And as my husband, you're going to be doing what you're supposed to be doing for your children anyway. So at any time, if their mother is having an issue with being responsible,
you know who would agree with it?
Who?
Mr. Yasin. So my man, Mr. Yasin, he has 3 wives? He had 3 wives. And where he come from, they cool with that. The life he lived, and it's people that had, men that had 3 or 4 wives, and the wives, roll with that. So That's what I'm saying. I'm not vouching for it. Only thing I'm saying is out in this world that we living in, there are people that are living together. I've heard of a situation where as though the baby mother was actually living in the basement of the house of the new wife and husband because of the relationship they had. See, you wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. But people are.
No, she's not living at my house. Yeah. That's an X4 reason. It's not happening. You won't be rekindling anything under my nose.
That is tough. That's tough.
It is tough.
It's not tough. That's very easy. He is not co-signing for anything because now we are married and he's co-signing for another apartment. No, not happening. Your kids can come and stay right on up at our address without their mother.
Well, you know, there's a TV show that's on called Love Is.
I love it. I love that show.
And let me tell you, he was in a situation living with a woman or whatever. The woman, she got some type of surgery because she wanted to be this big yoga person or whatever have you. He was getting into another relationship with the lady that did Martin and all this other stuff. And he went back to the other lady and was helping her because she wasn't able to take care of herself. And he was ignoring, he couldn't get her number or whatever because he didn't have a cell phone. He was broke, down and out or whatever. But he went and he helped this woman back to her normal self.
But because he felt like
he felt like he owed her.
Right. Because they moved from one state to another. Mm-hmm. And when they got there, he was trying to like become like a writer and create his stuff. She started to not support him while they was in a relationship.
Because he was broke.
Right. But they moved there for a dream, basically. Okay. And when it didn't manifest, now she stopped supporting. So that's how the other woman even got in the first place. Right. Because the woman that he was with and moved with, she fell off when it came to support. So now another woman looking at him, and she know he's lacking in a lot of areas, but she fell in love with his mind. Right. So even though he didn't have all the money and all that stuff, he fed her mentally. Yes. So it was like they fell in love. But at a certain point, the one that he was with, she had got sick, like she said, and she needed help. But none of her family or friends was in that state. So he went and helped her. Mm-hmm. What do you think about that? You just let her be sick over there.
I mean, what kind of insurance she got? So she didn't support him, so he was humble enough to go and help her.
Right.
Okay, so it would be a limit, right? It would definitely have to be a limit. It's very noble and kind of him to help her, even though she abandoned him and his dreams and didn't help him. So, you know, if he felt like that is what he had to do, then I would support him to an extent. Because again, that could always be one of those tracks, let me try to get him back or whatever. You really don't know the intention.
Right. Mm-hmm. It could be, yeah.
Not to mention, if you are helping somebody and it is impeding our ability to grow our relationship, then it's a problem.
Absolutely.
So one of them has to go. And if you don't get that, then I'm going to go. Like, we're not going to do this. This is what we won't do.
Exactly.
You have to have boundaries. You have to draw some lines. So if that relationship, if you feel the need to help this woman so significantly, like you have to go back and she rode with you and she was here. Okay, cool. Well, then you go do that. But you have to make a decision. You can't do both.
But it wasn't a love thing though.
Right.
Like for him,
but we don't know her intention.
No, I get what you're saying as a woman, but I also see, and I'm saying I know it would be a sticky situation for any real life person because I feel where the woman is coming from, but I also felt where the man was coming from because he wasn't approaching it as though as he loved her. He was approaching it as like, yo, we moved from another state to start over, and he even talked to her. He like, yo, why you don't love yourself for who you are? You done had these surgeries, and she got sick. And he knew she don't have no family and friends there. So she's mad.
But she made the choice to move there. She also did not carry out the mission in which they moved there for. Mm-hmm. She abandoned him. Mm-hmm. He moved on. He did whatever he did. So, you know, what can I do to help support you? And this is going to be over quickly. He's not going to keep going there to help her because I can pretend to be sick until I'm well enough and I feel like I'm going to get him back.
I mean, but even if she really was sick, anything that is impeding my ability to grow my relationship and let it flourish is a problem. So either your relationship that you are currently trying to build is going to die, or that situation has to die. You can't, like people always say the grass is green on the other side. No, the grass is green where you water it. So if all of your time and your energy is over there, then that is a problem.
Let it talk.
Because but I'm serious though.
So
like,
you wouldn't give him any type of no leeway or anything?
There would be a very small window of leeway. It's like,
Yes.
okay, check on her, see what's up. She needs to move. She needs to go home then. Like if all her support system is there, then that's where she needs to go.
I
Not here.
I get that, but at the same time, sometimes, all right. So I know a personal situation right now where as though is they older individuals. They was married for over 20 some years. At a certain point, the man felt like they outgrew each other. He like, yo, you don't support me how we used to, even though we older now. You don't support me, and it ain't love no more. He like, I do everything I can for my household, and I don't feel it. And she just felt like she, so he eventually divorced her and went got another woman. When he got another woman and got married, the woman he married, he had got cancer. When the woman he married, she then handled it like, well, I ain't signed up to take care of no sick man. So guess who ended up taking care of?
The wife, the
The ex-wife, who actually he divorced to go be with the other woman. So he actually ended up being extremely sick and almost on his deathbed. But the first wife is actually the woman that's riding beside him right now, and the woman that he left her for is nowhere to be found.
That's why the wife get married.
But was the ex-wife in a relationship when she came back to help him? Because if she was,
no.
That's my point. Because if she was, I guarantee homie would have been like, oh no, he's going to die and deal with that on his own. Because he left you and you made a choice and you moved on with me. You can't move on with both of us. You have to make a decision.
But
right?
Jill Scott did that, and why did I get married too? She had a whole husband, and her ex-husband was sick.
Yep, I remember that.
And she was sneaking over there to the house, taking care of him. Got her husband a job because he wasn't working either. The ex-husband hooked him up with a job on a hush-hush, and then the husband got mad.
And once the husband found out,
yeah,
it began to impede their ability for their relationship to flourish. Shorty politely said, I will take my leave. I got to take care of home. Because that is what a wife should do. And that is what a husband should do. Or any type of relationship that you are in and that you are trying to grow.
But I get it. I get what both of them are saying.
I'm not doing it.
But I get what both of them are saying. But what I'm saying is, if your husband had a child or 2 kids outside of your marriage before y'all got married, and his ex-girlfriend or baby mother became extremely ill on her deathbed, like y'all gonna fight with him of saying, yo, she's sick, like she fighting cancer. He can't
get custody of your children
and just let her die.
Well, she's gonna die anyway. She got
That's
cancer.
not always true. Some people survive it.
Okay, so she has medical insurance. Like, no, we are not going to take care of her too. It's
that's not fair.
We are not taking care of her because that's what's going to happen. This is my husband.
That's tough until you face with it. If somebody got kids and you see, I think y'all might be thinking about it on having a bad relationship with the people.
No.
Come on, dude.
No. She will.
I get what you're saying, but as a woman, I know that it will be hard. It will be so hard to have your man going out there hoping another woman is not happening.
And not to mention, you have to think about taking consideration this. Like when you're looking at real life, that means that my man is working, right? He got a job, right? And we got kids, right?
Right.
And we have our own bills, right? So there are all these other things pulling at my husband anyway. So the time that he would invest in me is now being sucked up because Shorty said, when is my time? When am I seeing my husband?
Not only that, she's going to need rides to her appointments. This is going to take too much time. It's not happening.
One of the bills agreed. Ashley said, get custody of your kids and let her deal with that situation, whatever she's dealing with, because I can speak on this because I am dealing with my cancer situation right now.
Mm-hmm.
So she's a friend of mine. She watches every week. We went to school together. She's actually dealing with, her own situation with her family. She puts it out to the world and let people know how, cancer has affected her family and her life, and she's still fighting and things like that. I'm very supportive of her, and I don't like cancer. It's something people deal with. But I understand what you're saying, Ash. But my only thing was, I just felt like sometimes if you're going through a situation and the person, like somebody else, you had a child with that person. You might every relationship that ends doesn't end on bad terms. I know relationships that aren't together, but they still have like some type of communication where as though they cool and it's not. I'm just saying, like, I know for a fact some
That's
situation
fine.
like
And
that.
I don't have
Matter
any
of fact,
bad blood.
I got an uncle where as though it's his wife calls the ex-wife with the kids and invite them to cookouts and dinners and everything.
And that's fine, and that's different.
That's very different.
Why she inviting them?
No,
They should be able to come over.
That's a camaraderie. That's a good.
Man, they act like they homegirls.
They can be homegirls.
They can be homegirls. I mean,
a cookout is not okay. So here's my thing. All right, so boom, we not even gonna be a baby mother. So let's say me and my husband, right? Me and my husband, we together. He got a homeboy, like this codependent relationship with his homeboy, and his homeboy always get his phone on something. I need some help. Let me hold $100. I need you for this. I need you for that. Me as a wife, I'm like, oh, we got a problem.
Yeah.
He's not going to keep sucking from us and taking from us. So it's not even about the person that's doing it. It's about the leech. For whatever reason, you're leeching off of me.
I'm talking about life and death almost.
Wesley,
I'm talking about.
my aunt said be quiet. Be quiet.
Tell your aunt, I'm telling you, hey, auntie, I'm telling you, auntie, people do it. Y'all acting like this stuff don't happen.
Miss Sim said you need a board break.
Yeah, man, it's all right. I hear you, Miss Sims. Hey, Miss Sims, I'm telling y'all, people do it. Y'all acting like people don't do that.
No, it's not happening.
Like you have to live your own life. You can't stop living your life.
You're going to be single. You're going to be single. It's not happening. It is not. And you know. And
so my question was, if you had a child with somebody, right, and y'all not together and y'all left on good terms, the person gets sick, they get cancer or any other type of illness, but you married to another man or woman, is it okay for you to help the person you had a child with because they have cancer or some type of illness and you on the marriage? Please comment. What's your number again?
570 763 9675
9675. Please talk to me. I need to hear what's going on out here.
You co-sign for that apartment, you might as well move into it.
You have to.
See, that's what I'm saying. But we had a post. They had a post on Facebook about is it okay to co-sign and fit.
That's the thing to say. That's
my whole point is people was agreeing like, okay,
they don't
I
agree.
understand.
That's like side chicks versus whites. All the side chicks agree. Like what are you talking about?
Not happening.
It's the same concept.
It's not happening. It's not happening because when you're co-signing, you're investing time, you're investing money, you're taking all that away from me.
My credit, man.
Yes, it's my credit, it's my income. It's no. I'm not doing it.
It's too much of me.
I'm sorry. You better have some good health insurance, ma'am. It's nothing I can do to help you. You know, he's not taking you to no appointments. Y'all won't be having this little relationship on side. Absolutely not.
All right, so spend it. What if they got a son together and he 18? And the mother going through hard times, and the son get the apartment, but he need his father to co-sign, and the mother gonna move in with him.
Son, you better get you a second job.
Well, as a matter of fact, you 18, baby. You in college, you can still come stay with me.
Yeah.
You 18 years old.
So the mother can't move in with the son.
So you're using the kid for you to get on come up. No, same difference. Same difference. No. It's not happening. So Shanetta says it's cool, but to a certain point because one, you married, and the only reason is because it's my child's other parent.
Hold on, Ash.
Very humbling, Shanetta, but no. She gonna have to make her own way.
One more time. 7 what?
570-763.
Stop saying so fast. 570-763-9675. 9675.
Yes.
There we go. Put the number up right there. Holla at me.
So he sees the best in me is saying it's time for the family to step up. Don't act like I'm the only person.
Everybody,
my
see,
husband is
I don't
the
like
only
that.
person.
I don't like that
you
because
get
everybody
dependent on.
don't have family. That's why we got so many homeless people out here because of certain reasons that they didn't have no other help or resources from nowhere else.
That's why you also have hospitals, assisted livings, and other arrangements
And not
that
to
you make.
mention, was she your mom prior to? Because it's not FMLA, like, I mean, insurance. Like, I'm just saying, like, she was gainfully employed prior to.
People go through hard times out here.
Well, she's not going to on my dime. No, thank you. No, thank you.
It's already hard enough for you to get a woman out to 500,000. So you're going to get one, and you're going to be single because your heart is still in another
No,
place.
I don't have a situation like that. I'm speaking on a what-if situation.
I'm just saying.
Because I've seen these things happen in my young 32 years. We got a phone call.
WMSK online radio. This is Open Wild with Neeuq. Hello?
We heard you breathing. There we go.
Yes.
Alright, this is Ashley. Y'all ready for my opinion about this cosign?
Go ahead.
Yes,
Go ahead, Ashley.
Alright, so here's the thing. If you are in a marriage, what you have to always remember is that my credit now becomes my husband's credit. My husband's credit now becomes mine. So if my husband is co-signing, but his mother, his sister, his baby mother, or his auntie to get an apartment, a phone, or car, he's also consenting that his wife is also taking responsibility for this financial situation as well. So unless you and your wife agree to co-sign, it's a no-go.
Well, there's that.
You have to think about the fact that, sure, this person may have a plan. You co-sign for me so I can get this place. I'm going to pay my bills. But life happens, and she might lose her job. So now you are equally responsible. You and your wife are equally responsible for his baby mother's living situation. Absolutely not.
So what if?
As a parent,
Did you
you
trying
as
to
a
make words?
parent,
Like,
you
our
have
hearts
to resolve the
are
child's
So Ash.
situation by allowing the child to live with it.
So Ash, what if before y'all get married, he had already like co-signed for his brother or something?
But that's a discussion that needs to be had prior to the marriage. Don't let me come into this marriage not knowing all of your financial responsibilities that I am now agreeing to accept.
There we go. That's that married talk right there.
Yes. Check it, get that social and check that credit, ladies. Yes.
So I can say for me, it's a no.
She said it's a no. No.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do it. I'm sorry.
No.
Have you a contingency plan, get some long-term care insurance, something. It's not happening.
Absolutely.
It's
They're
not
going
happening.
to act like
You're right about the Affleck.
Yes.
Affleck kicks that cash out.
Yes, they do.
Yes. You just gonna have to definitely find another way. It won't be on my dime, on my watch.
So he can't help her. He can't go pick the prescriptions up from Rite Aid and drop them off.
They have deliverables now. They deliver. Like, no, seriously, it's like Uber Eats. They got meds for us. Like, just meds on wheels. Like, it's so many different avenues. It's too many resources for you to meet mine. Like, it's just too many out here.
Good point. It's not happening.
So what if when he get custody of the kids, the kids want to see their mother like 3 times a week?
Okay.
Can he go help her out on those days?
Help her out, or we'll take them,
Take
drop
the
them
kids,
off.
take the kids over there and help her out.
That's
the norm.
They don't help her out. They don't help her
What
out.
if she can't like move that good?
Well, that means you don't need to see your kids. You can come visit them at the library or something.
So
It's supervised visits.
How is she home alone if she can't move?
Like what if she in the hospital?
In hospice? So then that means that she
Not
has people.
hospice.
But if she's in a hospital, there are people that are employed.
Wesley, you still taking back? You right, never mind, bro. Y'all ain't giving no love.
Yes.
Gator told me drink water. Miss Sims told me take a nap. Auntie told me go ahead and go to sleep. Let's go. Ashley said it's a no. I feel y'all.
Yeah, it's not happening. No. No.
The woman's actually step.
Oh, yeah. All right, so where we at now?
Okay. So my next question for you is: you was at the family reunion, and and your family member, spouse, hit on you.
Mm.
First of all, are you telling your family member?
Hold on, what? If you had a family reunion and they hit on you, like trying to talk to you,
Like your girlfriend,
Yeah.
cousin.
I'm trying to get that. Give me the D.
Wait.
Brother-in-law.
Wait,
give me the D.
say that again.
You're at a family reunion and your spouse's family member hit on you.
Your spouse's family member.
Yeah.
Oh, I understand what you're saying now. All right. Yeah, I'm ratting. I'm ratting. I'm ratting right there. If I'm at a family reunion and my woman's sister, aunt, cousin, something try to talk to me, I'm ratting. You know why?
Let me hear from the lady.
You know why? Because if I don't rat,
oh, she gonna tell.
that's gonna have me looking back foolish later on. Like, oh, you must have liked it. Oh, you feel me? Oh, you waiting for your opportunity. If you don't rap, regardless on, I don't care what the consequence after you rap. If they fuss or argument or scrap or she even say I'm lying, I don't care about that. You know why? Because I clear my conscience that I said something. Because at the end of the day, she can't come back at me and be like, oh yeah, we set you up. You sneaky ass, you really wanted her, or something like that. Women are trying to do something. I am telling.
All right, ladies. So your cousin, your best cousin, her husband tried to talk to you at the family reunion. Are you gonna tell your cousin?
Wait, say it again. You said, am I son, my cousin?
Yeah. Her husband just tried to talk
push
to
up
you.
on you. That is a touchy situation.
I was gonna say now in reverse, that is a lot harder. And I was like, that's harder because then you got to deal with the side eye from. No, he didn't. Yes, he did. Oh,
Right.
Listen, like that makes it so. That
You probably wanted him.
Yeah.
But that's what I be talking about. We kind of touched on something like that before, and I forgot how it went. But that's what I mean about women, and that's why things get by, and that's why things go too far. Because I don't understand
how we be brushing it off.
What's so hard to think about? Because if my girlfriend come and try to talk to me, his baby mother, is my mic still on? Can y'all hear me? If his baby mother come say something slick, I'm running and I'm telling my brother like, yo, I don't know, whatever man him go back and forth with, that's cool. If he don't want to believe it, if he be like, yo, you tripping, or I don't care. At the end of the day, I don't understand why women always got to think about something like that. What's to think about?
So it's not the thought process of not wanting to say something. It's the working it out afterwards. Like for and I'm like, yo, check it out. Like, as a woman, we get defensive and very territorial. And then in our minds, contrary to what most people think, we be like, he always think me or whatever. Like, we know we see other people, but realistically, it's like, what did I check for you? Like, you probably didn't even mean it like that, but all right. And then if you confront your dude and he's like, I didn't mean it like that. What are you talking about? Then you sit there looking at your homegirl like, he didn't even mean it like that. Meanwhile, we know what he meant. I know this man was hitting on me, but now I'm in a situation, now I'm uncomfortable every time I'm around you.
Matter of fact, you know what we talked about? Hold on, I'm sorry. That's exactly what I had to think about it. If you saw, because of the same scenario, if you saw your best friend or homegirl or cousin or sister, boyfriend out cheating on her, would you take the truth back to her? Because a lot of females said the same thing, like y'all had to think about it. Why is it a thought? Why is it something? No, women was like, they had to think about that. Like, because now if he lied and she don't believe him, she gonna be like, oh, you hating, or like, what type of friends is that?
Technology, like I'm FaceTiming every like,
what type of friends is that?
I'm turning around, we all on this day. Hold on, girl, you walk over here. Hold on, hey, how you doing? How you doing? Wait a minute, talk to him. Hold on, cheesy. That's what my clique friends. Now that's where we are. So that's too hard to dispute. But it's not like when somebody brushed past me, it was like, and that's fat. I didn't get that on camera, so I don't have that to run.
But I don't know what type of friendship that you can call that you have with your homegirls or your tight clique. If you see their man out in the street with another woman and you can't comfortably go tell her, yo, I just seen Craig with this joint at the bar and they was chilling and hugged up. if you can't go tell your girl that, then I don't feel like y'all relationship that tight.
I'm waiting on you.
Y'all not that tight. It's too much. Why you thinking about it over there?
You can't say that it's not that. It's not
It
that
can't
tight.
be that tight if you can't go to your girl and tell her the truth.
But you don't want to go any premature information either.
Because you don't know who that person is.
Yeah.
Just to be coming out, you think you got the tea, you running out there
See,
telling
maybe
But
y'all
you know
saying
what?
it wrong.
But this is my thing. If you are my ride or die,
You snitching.
not only am I snitching, I'm coming up to you like, how you doing?
That's what I'm saying.
No, we
Like,
together.
Now,
We all together on this baby at this point. Let me
Let's
sit
talk
down and let me. What? Hi, how you doing?
right, Ash. I'm
How
telling you.
Like, what's your name? Oh, what's
I'm telling
your
Ash.
name?
My brother, cousin, homeboy, father, grandfather. I don't care if Granny out here holding another man's hand with a bottle. I'm telling on Granny. Granny, what you doing?
He could just be trying to help her.
No, he ain't helping across the street. She got her walker. She good.
she don't need no help.
Yeah, you feel me?
Oh,
She
now
don't
she
need
don't
no.
need no help.
Cause I was headed down.
But you was willing to help the baby
They
mama.
not
I was
They
down.
not sick.
Granny got a walker. She need help.
She don't.
Granny need
No,
help.
she don't. No, she don't.
But because this is the thing.
You see how you
for real.
confused?
For real, just like in when relationships are bad, right? You're giving your advice, you're doing all of these things. In the end, it's still going to be their choice whether or not they stay with them, right? So depending on who that person is, because one, you really need to know who your friends are. That's the first thing I want to say. So if you know that this is some ratchet chick who's going to be with him no matter what, I'm not even going to waste my time.
Your energy.
Because she's gonna say, "Oh, you're hating. You're doing this."
But that's what I'm saying. Why would you? No, that ain't. That's
What's
what
her
that's
nonsense?
my point. If you go tell your girl something and your girl telling you, "No, you only saying that because you hating on me," that is not your girl. I'm telling you, factual.
No. See, that's not necessarily fact. No, I'm gonna tell you why.
Man.
Because no, and this is why.
That's
Because
her.
mentally, some women need to hold on to something. It has nothing to do with our relationship, but it has everything to do with me and his relationship. I need him to be a certain way in my mind. So it doesn't matter what y'all say. I need him to be this person for me. And it doesn't matter what you're coming to me with. Oh, girl, you hating. I know, y'all. I've been there. I knew about his other two women and this, that, and third. But in my mind, for me to mentally cope with whatever I'm deciding to deal with, I need to
Women got all these problems now.
No, it's not about the women. The man
That's
should.
why. That's
The
why they
man
got
should have
the
been
problems
so sloppy and let me see.
now. That's why they got the problems now.
I'm
Y'all
honest
can't even
with
tell
you.
your homegirl her husband cramming something. That's crazy.
We don't know that he's cramming anything.
Right.
We just saw them out.
Nah, we grown.
Come on now.
We adults. I know what something look crazy.
But we don't know. We don't know.
Well, they just
We don't know the extent. Yeah, we
Who
don't know.
said they just sitting in the bar talking?
You just said it.
I said.
What are they doing out in public? They doing that.
No, people. No, what I'm saying is, if you at a bar and you sitting with somebody, you kind of can feel. If I'm sitting on the side of, if we go to, what's the little TGI Fridays, and I'm sitting on one side, and you see the little couple joint sitting on the other side of the bar, if they into each other, it's a little feeling, it's a little look that you can see if somebody
And
into somebody.
if this is my ride or die, I'm going to walk up on your date.
All right,
and
well,
I'm saying,
This my nigga. This our nigga. This we
Exactly.
I'm sitting down.
Exactly. Well, Wesley, I know you're gonna buy me a drink. How you doing, ma'am? This hour, man. Our third wheel not here right now, but you understand.
She can see you.
And that's what I mean, Ashley. Ashley, I respect that. Ashley said, yeah, she can call me a hater all she wants, but when the truth really come and hit you, she'll respect her friend. And I feel like you had no choice to give me my respect or like apologize or come back later on like, yo, you feel me? Rather than me just sliding it. Because I feel like the friendship really a break if you knew the whole time and you ain't say nothing and then they find out
Yeah.
and you and
I agree.
they come out and they be like, you knew. I feel like you really lost your friend then because they're gonna be looking like, I thought you was y'all call each other
Again.
my bitch. Like you ain't
Right,
even
but
say nothing.
again, that depends on the dynamics of our friendship, right? So I'm not doing that for an associate. But again, if this is my friend, I am not going to let him slide with that action because he's going to come home to tell you, oh, I saw Neeuq at Fridays. He's going to want to beat you to beat me to telling you. Because I'm sitting down, we having a drink. Your date is over.
My fingers move too fast. I done texted before I even made it over the tea. Like I done texted an essay and sent her like 12
They
pictures.
can call me crazy or whatever. You can say whatever about me. If one of my brothers or close homeboys, and I know that women, see, our careers, we know each other. Like, we got each other numbers, we at each other's house, we help each other with kids, we do stuff like that in my crew. If I see one of my homeboys or friends or brothers chick out with another dude, I'm walking up to her, I'm gonna give her a hug and everything, and then I'm gonna be like, who yo? And they know how I am. I ain't got no hot cards. I want to know who yo is. If that's your brother, if that's your coworker, all right, I'm gonna give him a handshake or whatever. But if it's somebody outside of that, what's up with this? Right. On G Tech period. You feel what I'm saying? Cause my man, we ain't gonna be home chilling with the kids, thinking our wife or our woman out chilling with the homegirl, and she out with another Joe Schmo. We running on that.
So you listen. And Shanetta is saying, if he or she is so bold to do it in front of you, the friend, knowing you want to go tell, they really don't care, which is very true. But so this is my.
Can he do it in front of you?
Right.
They could be there before.
Right.
They could have been there before you even arrived. They could already be sitting down, drinking and eating that food, and she could be turned facing him. You feel what I'm saying? She ain't even see you. You sitting on the other side of the bar.
Your date is over. Your date is over.
Okay.
If alcohol is your date is over. So this is the question at hand. So now this is your brother's wife.
What you doing, Neeuq?
Your brother's wife hit on you. Would you tell your brother?
If my brother's wife
hit on you.
Ratting.
You tell him?
Ratting. We too close. See, these questions for me, we too close. Like seriously, we too close. We too close.
So what if your brother will get mad at you? You know.
See, that ain't.
That's not gonna happen.
That's not gonna happen.
No, that ain't like you gotta know.
So
you
for
gotta
men,
know.
You think
Like,
it's different?
I don't think it's different for men. I'm talking about you asking specifically me.
Yeah.
With my crew, no, that ain't gonna happen. They gonna know Wes ain't out here. I'm not hitting on my brother's baby mother or wife. They not hitting on, like, I can't even explain how. Can you explain a little more? Like, I can't even, that ain't happening.
That's just what it is, yeah.
Like, that ain't, you feel what I'm saying? And I ain't even saying it in a cocky way. It's just saying, no, that ain't going down. If I go to my brother and be like, yo, Shorty said something wild. We need to see what's up. I'm not going to say he going to gang up on her with me.
And that's what I was about to say.
But
more than likely, you getting checked by the crew.
Yeah.
It's not even on some, he's going to do it personally. No, you had something to say to him right in the room. So let's talk about it. What you said? Right. Now it's a round table discussion, baby. Let's talk.
Right.
What was that?
So the scenario that I gave was actually a real story. And the family member went to their family member and said, listen, your husband is, crossing a line. Mm-hmm. The family member is now mad.
With her cousin.
Yeah, with her cousin. Mm-hmm.
But that happens, and I kind of want to tie it in because I want to we discussed this a little bit too. But that happens about one show. You was talking about how young girls get touched or something when they're a certain age, and then when they speak up, some people in the family don't like to. Mm-hmm. That happens, but I still feel like you need to speak up regardless on who not gonna believe you. Like I just met a young girl recently, and she was like, her and her mother don't have a good relationship no more. And I was like, what happened? Because she is 19 years old, and she reached out to me through Instagram, and she was like, Mr. Hawkins, I love what you do and all your positivity. And she was like, can I meet with you and stuff like that? So I had to vet the situation first. I'm like, you 19-year-old girl, you feel what I'm saying? You can come to the camp and meet the kids. So when she came, she get to talking, and she was like, I don't know how to deal with the situation. I just feel how your energy is. And she told me, like, the relationship she had with her mother is not good because the dude that her mother is, or that so-called in love, then that's her. But still, her child came to her and was like, look, the dude you with And she was like, off of that, her and her mother relationship has crumbled now.
Mhm.
Stuff like that is ridiculous to me. Like, you can't be that.
So as a parent, right? As a parent, is no way that I'm gonna let that go unaddressed. It won't be that, oh, I'm gonna go talk to Wesley, in private and just confront him with what you told me. Again, that is something that should be put out in the open. And especially with it when it's younger children,
Mm-hmm.
right? This person is an adult. She should be able to come with evidence because it's been clear probably your whole life that your mother loves her boyfriend more than she loves her children.
Mean evidence? Like, how do you get evidence if
you can have your phone recording on? You can, take photos. It's a whole bunch of stuff you can do. Videos. At that old of an age, that your mother takes her boyfriends over top of you. You're not going to tell me that at 19 it's your first time recognizing that your mother would take her boyfriend's side over yours, right?
Mm.
So, any person is going to be hurt because all people want that love from their real parents, right? So if she doesn't have any evidence to bring with her, and it's sad that you even have to take evidence to your mother. It's sad, but again, this is not the first time that you knew that your mother wasn't going to believe you and take her boyfriend's interest over yours.
And I think that's why it bothers me so deeply. And the reason why I say it bothers me because everybody sitting in this room, everybody that's listening, everybody that's online, y'all know being in a relationship, you can love your partner, right? But them relationships don't always last. Yeah. I know some people they in their 15th relationship. I know some people who had 2 relationships and got their heart broken and ain't been in another one in a long time. I know some people that gave everything they had in their soul and it still didn't go right. And I feel like at some point, certain people need that. That's just me. Like it need to outweigh that, bro. If me and my brother close like that, which we are, and he come to me and say my woman, no matter how much I love her, if he come to telling me something wild happened, I'm not sweeping it under the rug. I'm at least going to address it some type of way. I'm not about to tell him like, man, you tripping, like, out of here. Like, cause I don't feel like my brother gonna come at me with no wild stuff like that unless it's really happening. You dig what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. That's tough for me. That's tough for me.
So, okay. So, Quaisha is saying, you know what? Wesley is just a damn angel, but I'm respecting his views. That's the new Wesley. That's the new and improved.
That ain't no angel,
Wesley.
Bro. I'm not smashing my brother's jewelry.
No, she's saying you're an angel. That's the new and improved one.
You don't want to be an angel?
So I ain't no angel.
Oh, he's not an angel.
I don't sit up here and paint no picture like that. I'm a perfect man. I have morals. I have values. It's things that I'm not going to do. As a man, I'm going to tell you something. As a man, I know if my brother, girlfriend or wife got a fat tail or big boobs because I got eyes and I know she got it. I know what a woman has. But I'm not looking at her in that way like, dang, you feel me? Sure, you feel me? I know it, but I'm not looking at her in that manner.
Let me ask you another question. It's not even on my list of questions. But if your best friend was dating somebody a long time ago, right, and he died, and this lady that he was dating a long time ago comes to you and expresses an interest in you, would you date her? She got a butt, she got a nice job, she be cooking.
She's everything that you would want in a wife.
She is in the 500,000.
I'm in there. I'm gonna hold him down. He gone. I got him.
You got him?
I got him. I got him. I'm gonna hold him down.
Oh,
he loved her. He wanted her to be taken care of. I got him.
See, that's the thing. So you go in there because he's dead.
Yo,
if he was still alive,
if
he was still alive, you wouldn't touch him.
You feel what I'm saying? If he breathing, if he on this earth and he breathing and he living, no, she don't even exist. She don't count. But he gone. He can't take care of his queen now. Somebody else gonna scoop her while his brother not gonna come take care of her.
I need angel back. Yes, let's revoke his angel card. I need some opinion. 570-763-9675.
So what do you like? Uncle Dad? Uncle Dad now? Like what is that?
So that's why here's another guy. He said yes, he would date her.
Yeah, we taking care of man George. Let me tell you something, because I know that was my man. What? No, listen, I really feel this way because I know that was my man wife, and he really loved her. Hear what I'm saying? If he really loved her, I don't want to see her get hurt. I know what these other men out here is doing, so I know I'm gonna take care of her for my brother. Say my brother was a police officer, or he was in the military, or he was driving his car, he died in an accident, and he really took care of his kids, and he loved his woman, and he died. I got him on every level. Okay, I'm gonna make sure his wife good, his kids, everything.
So make sure his wife good in all facets.
So you gonna be doing it to her to make sure she good.
Make sure, cause she feel like she got her brother.
No,
I'm his brother in there. I'm his brother in there.
Anybody else keep the shoulder?
No, I'm adamant about this.
Yes, he is there.
You're in there.
No, for my brother, I'm in there.
So you can be a godfather of their kids and you're still in there?
No, we gotta hit the restart button.
So what?
I ain't the godfather no more. I'm stepdaddy.
But you're uncle stepdad.
I ain't uncle no more.
I am not me.
I ain't uncle no more.
Uncle
I'm
yourself.
stepdad now.
You cannot uncle yourself. That's not how it works.
No, because I'm trying to tell y'all, she gonna end up being with another man anyway. Why not be somebody that already gonna take care of her?
So what was your intention? I mean,
No, see,
so now I question
it wasn't.
your
No, you
intention.
can't
He was
question my
alive.
intention because when he was alive.
But you always wanted to do it to this
No,
lady.
it's not. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. When my brother's alive, she don't even exist. Like she exists to like, yo, that's my brother woman. You feel what I'm saying? If my brother dies or something happens, I'm gonna take care of his family. Because another man might slide in and try to hurt her and hurt the kids. So if I'm not married at the time, I got her. Man.
Hold on. So yes, the angel card has been revoked.
That's cool. I ain't say I was no angel to y'all.
Oh my goodness, ladies.
So no, see y'all ain't y'all women, y'all gonna move on anyway, right? Y'all gonna move on anyway, right?
The women move on faster than the women.
Just answer the question. The woman is gonna move on regardless. And what if she move on and like all three of the men she date dog her out?
That means she need to choose some better goddamn
You
men.
can't really choose. Women always saying choose. Sometimes you can choose that, but you can't guarantee that.
Oh my goodness.
You the one for her.
I'm gonna be the one for her, not because of I was checking for her, but because of my brother was a good father, he was a good husband, and then now he's deceased and he can't carry his family no more, so I will step in and carry it for him. It's deeper than what y'all thinking about it.
I don't get the deep part of it. I just seem like you
go ahead, see it.
I'm wanting both of y'all.
Go ahead. No, me and my brother already talked about this. We already talked about this. We already talked about this. That's what I'm saying. We already talked about this.
I wasn't privy to this.
If I die,
Christy, you would have been looking at them sideways.
I wasn't there. I'm like, huh? Wait a minute.
because I don't get how y'all missing it. Because she gonna go get laid up regardless.
But not with the.
But none of them other men don't have no reason to guarantee to take care of her kids or to treat them special. These men don't have to guarantee they're gonna come in and take care of y'all kids. They don't have. We living in the real world right now.
So you can uncle my kids. You can,
I got
make
his
sure
wife.
they got stuff.
Dad, he keeps saying it too. I got his wife.
All right.
Next
All
question.
right. Okay, yes. Next question. The ladies are not in agreement with this.
That's cool.
What?
My brother don't want his wife getting hit by nothing else.
Let me hear what y'all gotta say. 570-763 WMSK 9675. That was definitely a shocker.
You should
Yes, that was.
She's asked the question.
I sort of feel like, like I would be able to get over or get beyond like my dude, like smashing some random shit versus like my sister. I just feel like I don't. It's a little different. Pick a new person. like a new being, like just someone else.
Like outside of
My circle,
Yeah.
our existence, like just pick someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. All right. So
You don't have to agree.
I mean,
It's cool. Right now.
All right. So the next question: would you attend the wedding of your gay son or daughter?
I ain't going. So I'm not going. I'm not going. I already know y'all gonna say y'all going, y'all celebrating, and y'all doing y'all thing, and y'all gonna be in there. Yes! I'm not going.
Why do you have to do that?
Because that's what y'all gonna be doing. That's exactly what y'all gonna be doing. I'm not going.
He's not.
I'm not going to my son or none of my brothers walking down the aisle with another man. I don't even know why she asked me that question, because now y'all put me on. Now I'm gonna get destroyed by the
your daughter.
I'm not doing it. Not doing it.
Why? Why is the question? Why are you not doing it?
I don't. That's not who I am. That's not what I agree with. That's not how I live. That's not what I feel like is right. And I feel like right now what's going on in the community is if you don't think that's okay, they speak against you. You can't anybody that speak on not agreeing with that, they try to demonize you. No, I'm not a demon. I just don't agree with that.
No, I'm gonna respect your opinion. Right. You know, if you're not going, you're not going. What about you, Kristen? You going?
I'm unsure. I was not in that situation, so I was unsure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm there for my child and everything. I love my child with my whole heart. And that would be a hard pill to swallow. Like I told you, I have, very close friends of mine. It was something different to see them in a relationship. And then when it's time to go to bed, they go to bed together. That was a hard pill for me to swallow. Like, I know what goes on, but I actually...
That's what I'm saying. That's tough.
It's hard,
I hate even addressing this, because again, like I said, where society is going now, it's like if you are the individual who does not agree with homosexuals and homosexuality, you get painted as a person that you need to take sensitive classes, or something wrong with you. No, nothing is wrong with me. I'm a man's man. And I don't, nothing in my mind can have a proper understanding to seeing my father or my uncles or my brother kissing another man in the mouth, laying in the bed with him. Like, my mind don't function the way, whereas though I can't wrap that in my understanding of seeing two men that much engaged, because I'm a man and I love women to a high level. I love women. So for me to see one of my brothers, like, yeah, bro, like, I'm about to marry this dude. Like, I can't do it. And, and I don't like I said, I don't really like to address it, because how society is pushing it nowadays, like, you have to like it. You have to agree, or something is wrong with you. No, that's not my thing.
So you think it's more acceptable for women to marry women? Because you talk wholeheartedly about the men. What about the women?
I don't like it either way. I don't think it's right either way. But I literally, like, like, that's how deep it is for me. I don't think it's right either way, but I feel like.
What you mean you don't think it's right?
No,
you understand it more
offside. And sometimes a man don't know how to be as soft as she want, so she might seek that in a woman. I'm not making no. You feel like
I'm not seeking a soft side. I'm seeking soft tits, soft butt.
Well, whatever.
Not a soft side.
All right, whatever you seeking. I'm just saying me. I don't. You ask me personally. No, I don't. I couldn't imagine. Like.
So your child that you are raising, that you love, you invested everything into. If this is their choice, this is who they are. you're not willing to accept it because it's not something that you agree with.
That's just what it is.
Okay. So you disown your child?
I'm not gonna disown my child, but
You just not going to the wedding.
no. I ain't gonna say that. I'm not gonna disown my child, but the relationship is gonna be different.
Right.
And again, that's why I said it's tough. It's hard for me to address these questions because I don't want people looking at me like, oh, this. You feel what I'm saying? But in all honesty, if I have a son and I do everything that I can do as a man to properly raise my kids, my son cannot walk through my front door and say, "Dad, I'm gay," and bring a man. I can't.
So this is my whole take on it. Even if you did the best that you could, if your son is who he is, you're raising him is not going to have any bearing on who he is. So I think the biggest thing would be the wedge that's drawn between you two if this child cannot come to you and talk to you. What you're saying, when you truly love your babies, you as a parent will go to the ends of the earth for them, including supporting their sexual preference. But if all you can focus on is the sexual piece of it, then your love is conditional, which is limited love. I love my daughter no matter who she chooses to grow to love.
Yeah, I get what people say. People say that, but I'm just speaking on me personally. I'm not trying to change nobody else. I'm talking on me because I do feel like some people love their kids unconditionally, but sometimes I think some people love their kids to a fault unconditionally. Because I was asked the question before recently that if my son or daughter was out in the streets robbing and killing people, would I snitch? Almost everybody in the porch was saying they not turning their kids in. My kid got to get caught. I'm telling you right now on front of live radio that if I know my son is out here robbing, killing people, and he's doing harm to people, these people got to bury their sons and daughters too. These people got to feed their family. That man can have kids or whatever. And you killing them because he got more money, or you robbing him for some reason and he died. And you don't know what his family and friends and his neighbors are going to do. My son going to jail and I'm reporting him. You call me whatever you want, but if I raised him the best way that I tried to raise him, and he out here robbing and killing people for no apparent reason and don't have to do that, and somebody losing their father or their son or their brother, and I know for a fact it was my son, he gone. He gone. If you want to do that, suffer the consequence. But a bunch of people that I was speaking to, they like, oh no, I love my kids no matter what. I ain't telling. The police gonna have to come get my kids. No, bro. I ain't letting my son. That's just like saying if you had a son and your son was out here raping girls on the college campus and they couldn't find out who the rapist was, but you as the mother or father knew your son was on that college campus raping these women, you telling me, oh, because I love my son unconditionally, I ain't telling.
Until they start charging with harboring fugitive and not.
Get out of here.
Yeah. So Bernadette is saying it's not right either way. They can't reproduce, and yes, society has thrown it down our throats. And if this is his or her choice, I will still love him or her as my child. So are you going to the wedding, Bernadette, or no?
And again, I never said I wouldn't love my child.
We're
I
talking
said
about
things would be different.
Talking about
They don't
adults.
agree with the lifestyle.
Yeah, things would be
And
different.
I was gonna say, I think it's more so the lifestyle. Like if you think about it this way, if you had a child that chooses to like smoke weed all the time at their house, I don't want to go to your house. I don't smoke weed. I don't want to smell like that. I don't want to be around it. It's not something I want to do. That's your lifestyle. Cool. I still love you. I'm just not around it. This is not something I want to do. So I think that people, like you said, demonize what you're saying as opposed to looking at what you're actually saying. It's the lifestyle is I choose not to be around.
Right.
So I'm removing myself from the lifestyle because I don't agree with it. You smoke weed all the time, and I don't want to smell like weed, so I'm not coming around your house. I'm not coming over.
Right.
But that's your lifestyle. I'm not telling you that you're wrong for it or that you're a bad person. I'm telling you I disagree with it, and I don't have to subject myself to it. So I think it's more like that. It's like, oh, I still love you. Be cool. Let's do something. Let's go bowling. You know?
That's my thing. I'ma still love my child, but like at least when you come in my house, please don't come to my house and be like, Dad, what we doing? Like I can't. I can't. I can't.
He don't necessarily have to be the flamboyant.
Like, all right, like straighten up. Like I don't know. I just see men. And that's what I be saying. Like I see men a certain way, and you know my stance, Neeuq. You know I feel like men are failing at a high rate in our community, especially the black community. I say this on air all the time. I don't bite my tongue on this. Men, in my opinion, in the black community are failing at a high rate. We failing our kids, we failing our women, we failing our elderly, we failing the community. So I feel like a man is supposed to be the protector, the provider, the one that's out there doing what he's supposed to do. Because I feel like if we had more of our black men doing these things in our community, then we wouldn't be suffering at the high level that we're suffering in the black community. So I see men on a total different scale. Like I just do.
Yeah, well, you already know my position on it, and I definitely feel like it's much different from a lifestyle. I just feel like it is who you are, whether it's that you know, a monogamous person who is homosexual, gay, lesbian, whatever you want to call it, transgender, whatever, or you could be a polyamorous person, you know, I want a husband and a wife, you know, so
or
I
you
just
could be a pedophilia.
no, so and
Yeah, see, there she go. I hate when she do that because she just preached that that's who you are.
right,
And they got scientists saying that that's who these people are. They were born like this. They was made like this. That's just who you are. So you picking and choosing.
So no, it's not that I'm picking and choosing. So again, like I told you, in relation to sex offenders, people who are attracted to young children and things like that, I do not feel like they can really help what they like. If that's what you're attracted to, that's what you're attracted to. You probably just cannot help that because you're wired to like that. If I like tall, dark, handsome, I'm attracted to tall, dark, handsome. If it's that I like a 6-year-old girl's body, I can't help that I'm attracted to that. However, this is the problem that I have with that. That 6-year-old girl cannot consent to the behavior and my attractiveness to her, right? My being attracted, they can help it. But I do feel like they should be admonished, penalized for their actions once they act on their attractiveness. That's my take on that. You know, I don't think any child should be exploited in any kind of way. Any child should be put into that position because they don't know. That's the problem that I have with that. Do I think that there's treatments and things like that? Probably not. You're not going to sit me in front of a therapist and say, I don't want you to like tall, dark, handsome men. And that fixes me or that cures me. I don't feel that they can help what they like. I just don't. But yes, penalize them for their actions because now you've just made a victim out of what you're attracted to. So that's my take on that.
But my thing is, they got scientists really arguing.
Yeah, they recognize it.
And they really trying to add it to the whole list of all the letters. The whole alphabet. The alphabet is getting so long now.
I can't keep up with
You feel what I'm saying? They adding so much stuff on there. It's a new one that I just learned about. I can't even. People who don't. They want love, but they don't want
asexual people.
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Asexual.
Yeah.
So
this is my thing. Just because people aren't recognizing it, or just because it's not like out in the open and all that, doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. Mm-hmm. And I don't necessarily agree with people who like animals either.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, so why?
I shouldn't say I don't like them. I shouldn't say I don't like them.
You don't like that act.
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying. I don't like because of who I am.
And that's fine. I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm not trying
to demonize you when you.
I'm not trying to convince you to change your mind because you have the right to think that way. You know, that's what you believe. That's what you think. That's what you feel. Who am I to try to convince you otherwise? Right? Not going to try to force you to accept anything. But I don't want you to also think that, oh, this is choices. We can turn this on, we can turn it off, and all this stuff. Oh, that's a lifestyle. That's, you know.
I mean, but I've seen people turn it on and off.
Or it could be that I like men today and I like women tomorrow.
That's
It
what
could
I'm
be
saying.
that I like
It's
one today and I
that's-
like two
It's
tomorrow.
a
I mean,
game. It's like
I don't think that it's a
almost,
game, but again, society is saying, oh, it has to be one man to one woman, and like everyone has to be heterosexual. That to me, it doesn't make sense. It just does not make sense.
So no rules,
So-
man. Cut the rules off.
You keep
No
saying no
rules,
rules.
no regulations, no nothing. Because Neek don't want it to be no rules. She
I
don't
did.
She don't want
I
no
did.
rules.
Don't play with no children. Don't play with animals.
The animals want to get their rocks off too.
No, not with a person. Not with a person. Not with a person. No.
Yo, stupid.
No.
Because I don't agree with none of it. not
Wesley,
that.
when my wife finds me, you gotta be at a wedding. All right, so September is saying no wedding. I don't believe in gay or same-sex marriage. I know people who married the same sex and they respected family who decided not to go. They still come around the family, but the marriage is not really recognized in the family. Which again, as a grown person, you need to love yourself enough and be okay with the decisions that you make.
Right.
You have to know that if this is what you are doing, this is who you are. You grew up with these people. You know them very well. You have seen these same reactions towards other people. So if my family said, oh, I'm not coming, I'm not doing that. I praise the Lord, I read about it. Okay, fine. You know, thank you anyway. Matter of fact, I probably am not even invited.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't even care.
Yeah, don't even invite me.
Yeah, I'm not even
Don't
gonna
waste
your
have a
invitation,
call
your
for the
stationery.
money for the invitation.
My
Save your cash.
Save
Send it to somebody else. Don't invite me. Don't send me the invite. Don't send me a
Absolutely.
postcard. I'm good.
Absolutely. And you have to be okay with who you are.
Right.
You know, so I don't let people determine who it is that I'm going to be. You know, I don't. So, and that's another thing that we're going to get on real quick. So let me see. So Bernadette is saying, it's a piggyback on Wesley. That's why our people in the situation we're in now, our friends, kids out there creating havoc in these streets. Quaisha is saying, Wesley, what if you were gay? How would you feel if your family rejected you and made you feel unwanted because you're that way? Put yourself
Rejecting me. I'm rejecting my damn self. What you mean? I can't do it with it.
So, okay, so but we're going to have a show in which I invite some LGBTQIA persons in. I will not.
Wesley.
I did talk to Wesley about it because I didn't know how comfortable he would be. But I think that, you know, sometimes if you hear it from the person's mouth, because I can advocate all that, right? So unless you are here, you are able to ask your questions to help you better
I didn't talk to
understand.
him already.
You want to talk to all of them?
No, I didn't talk to. I'm
Have you
a
spoken to
communicator. I talk about everything. You feel what I'm saying?
Have you spoken to a trans woman before?
Yeah.
So we're going to have a show because I want to, you know, use this as a platform so people can come on, people can talk, people can hear what these people are feeling, how your opinions make me feel,
Right.
how your opinions invalidate who I am. I just think that it's important that, you know, people get to speak for themselves.
Right. And that's what I want to do.
Invalidate. You said, is that the word you used?
Yes.
Invalidate?
Yes.
White people don't like my black skin. They're going to validate me. So I feel like if this is the way you were born, then fine. Walk in your truth, baby. That got nothing to do with me. I don't have to like that, though. Like,
Right.
and that's honestly how I feel. It's no that's like the saying pro-black doesn't make me anti-white. That's how I feel. Me being pro-heterosexual doesn't mean that I'm against you. It just means that that's not something that I do. Like, that's just my opinion. I'm not trying to invalidate you, and excuse my quotes, my air quotes, but that's not what I'm trying to do.
Right.
What
So I'm not saying that you per se, but I think that there are so many misconceptions, and a lot of times people forget that these are human beings. So outside of what I like sexually, you might like fingers up your butt. Like, who am I to say, oh, I don't like fingers up the butt, so I don't like you for that. You know, so
but that's not in your face. What I'm doing in my bedroom don't have nothing to do with you.
exactly.
But
But
if you're
gay,
but if you're saying come to my wedding, well, I'm not telling you, hey, take a back seat real quick and watch what I did. You just invited me to be a guest to witness what you're doing. That means that I would rather not. Thank you, though. Sorry, sis, but you know, live your best life. if I was to say, come to the bedroom, you want to see these fingers in my butt? Like, and you was like, nah, I'm a pass. I'm not mad at you. I'm saying that. Like, you're,
Right.
it's like you're saying, you're creating this platform and saying, I need an audience. That's not what I'm saying with my heterosexuality. I'm not saying I like men, watch me slob with this. No, that's not what I'm doing.
Right.
I don't feel the need to announce my heterosexuality. I don't feel the need to announce my femininity, my womanhood. I don't feel that need. I got my blackness, none of that. Like, and I walk with confidence every day with that, honey, and no problem. But I don't have to announce that, and I don't need an audience for it either. I'm gonna walk in that validation by myself. So what I think personally is develop some tough skin to get over it. It's your life. This is what you want to do. Do not get these little wham tears and crybaby stuff because they're targeting. Anybody targeting you? I said I don't like it. Then get over it. Move on. Have a good day. But I'm not targeting you. There's no target on your back. Degrading you or my truth should not devalue you. It's my truth. White people that don't like me because I'm black, they don't devalue me. I don't care about their opinions. That's on them. So that's how I feel about the different sexualities.
Right. So that's one take on it. But you do have people who do hate. You have people who kill these people because of who they are. So they do invalidate their identities, and all of that. So Go ahead.
In a lot of places, it's like you can't speak, teach, or push religion.
Mm-hmm.
Schools, they tell you you can't really touch on religion in schools.
Mm-hmm.
But now they're saying you can address, even read books, and show little homosexual videos and stuff in schools. What if I don't want my son or daughter to see that? So you can.
What?
Yeah,
In the curriculum,
they put in there. That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean about it's being a forced agenda. You can't. Don't talk about being a Christian or Muslim or Catholic. We don't want you to speak on that. But it's like people fighting for
you said you don't agree with pedophilia, not necessarily saying that they're attraction is but you don't agree with the act because the child cannot consent. So in elementary school, their age that's a vulnerable age, right? So if I'm introducing homosexuality to a child at that age, that means that I am influencing their mindset right now, right? So what is the difference? Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, if I tell a 6-year-old, it's okay for a grown man to touch you, and I constantly reiterate that it's okay for this grown man to touch you, and then a grown man comes and touches her. She didn't consent to that. I manipulated her mind. So if I'm reading books to this child and letting her know, mommy and mommy, daddy and daddy, all of us. It's a book called All of Us that we read in public school.
Right. But the message in that is different. Because I want you to know that as a 5-year-old, because children can be very cruel.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to know that if Sally comes and she has her 2 moms participating in, whatever, mommy, bring your, whatever they do.
Mommy, daddy.
Bring your parents to the school day. Yeah. So, and she has 2 moms. Children are so inquisitive, like, oh, she has 2 moms.
So what about the Arab kid that comes with his bread? And then I got the kid, I can't talk about religion, and I can't explain why
you can't, but you can talk about differences. And I think that's more important.
So then why
I don't know
about all of the religions?
I think they do have a book. I think when we were talking
we're
about,
not even allowed in Baltimore City. We are not allowed to do any type of celebrations of any holidays. If we can't even do one that includes all inclusive, like this is a celebratory day. We're not allowed to do any of that. But I can read this book. I can't teach y'all about Hanukkah and Kwanzaa and Christmas. I can't educate y'all on these different religions. Like, I'm limited there. But I can teach y'all about transgenders. I can teach y'all about homosexuality. I can teach y'all. And I don't even have a definition for what queer is.
I don't know why they would be talking that to children so young. I think
that's what I'm
in our curriculum for early childhood development, starting in is it first grade? I think it's first grade. I'll look at the book. I'll tell you in a second. It's kindergarten or first grade that we introduced that book. And
All of Us? What is it?
It's called All of Us. It's called like All of Us or something like that. And it basically talks about the different households: mommy and mommy, daddy and daddy, It's like black and interracial. It's like different. It's like okay, a mommy and a daddy, and it's like the different what's the names or whatever. And then you have like the single parent household. Just talking about the different households. Yes. And so I'm like, okay, what?
So if y'all don't think that's a false agenda, I don't know what is. Because there's other things that these kids should and need to learn about that you are not legally able to address or speak on or teach on in schools. If you don't send your son or daughter to a specific school that approaches religion, in schools you're not supposed to address religion. But now in schools where a child's mind is a sponge, now in schools where kids learn behaviors. If I don't cuss in my house, right? Mm-hmm. And my kids don't hear no curse words under my roof, but they leave my door and they go to school and they pick up these learned behaviors from school, and then now my kids
hence the book all
are coming home.
And hence the book all of us. Because if you're at home and you're preaching them, oh no, heterosexuality only, and then they go to school and then they have, oh, Johnny has 2 dads, and then they're coming home and they're talking to you about it.
Then let my child come home and ask me, and let me deal with that situation. I don't want this teacher. I'm a teacher. I don't want to have this conversation with them. That's like I taught middle school, and I had a 6th grader come up to me and let me know that she just lost virginity. Oh, nonsense. Wait a minute. Hold up. No. This is not going to be. We going to call you up right now.
But a lot of times, though, teachers are their only strong support, their only listening ear. You have these children with you for 8 hours in a day. Mm-hmm. And it should have been some form of training that they gave you as teachers. Not only that, these type of lessons should also be optional. Because I know when I was trying to take my program into schools, and I have a pregnancy prevention program, which includes sexuality health, it was schools, we had to send a permission slip home. They had to agree to have their children to be exposed to our program.
That is because it's a program not as outside of Baltimore City Public Schools, but it's part of the Baltimore City Public School curriculum. I don't have to ask for permission on anything on that list. Not one thing. It's about 500 books on there, and I can pick out about the 30. If I decided to use all 30 of the heterosexual or homosexual books about sexuality and use those for my lesson plans, I can. And it's not no trouble I can get into, because that's the type of leeway we had. Now, this is, you got, your 500 books, and then you build your not your curriculum, but your lesson plans based on that. Okay, so cool. So if I choose to choose these books, I don't have to ask permission. I don't have to send home a slip. No, I do not. I don't have to inform the parents that this is what I'm teaching, because this is on the curriculum. Baltimore City and the state mom said it's okay. So I don't have to ask your permission to teach something that is within my parameter of things that I can teach. But my opinion, if she has a question about something that's going on, let's have a conversation. Let's sit and talk. Let's make some hot chocolate. Let's have this conversation. But I want her to ask me for 2 reasons. Because I want to be the main influence in her life. I don't want her to ask these questions of someone else being able to manipulate the narrative. Let me control that narrative until she's old enough to make the decision herself. I want to control that narrative. And you're not giving me the privilege to do that when you're teaching it in school. Right. You're not offering me that. You're taking that from me.
But what about, because then what if you do have a transgender child that is enrolled in school, and then in your child's class?
Then here's my thing. First and foremost, that parent of the transgender child made sure that child was educated before they sent them into that school. Like, listen, it's going to be a lot of kids that are not privy, so they might ask you some questions. At that age, the kids going to ask them. They're just going to walk up to them. Are you a boy or a girl? I say, are you a boy or a girl? And then they have their own little conversations, and then the teachers may address it, or they might email the parents like, hey, just good teachers. Well, let them know or something like that. But then you know what's going to happen? She's going to come home and be like, Mom, there was somebody in my class, and this is what happened. And then we're going to have this, her and I are going to have this.
But are you censoring from your child what they need to know? Like, there are children who have physical disabilities. This child just happens to have a gender identity that is different from what you know to be normal.
Because my question is, I understand what you're saying, but my question is, it's an argument and a fight to put that in there. But what about the Arabian kids that come from Iraq or something, and it's not a whole bunch of like, let's help them. What about the Hispanics? It's not a whole bunch of differences painted in these books or dressing. They don't even want you to talk about slavery over. Yeah, they don't want you to talk about slavery in books in schools nowadays. They don't want you to talk about religion. How you want to overlook slavery, which is the main reason why a lot of this stuff is damaged with people. You want to overlook religion, but you're saying we have to address this though.
I'm not saying that you have to address it. I think that you should address it because a lot of times these children are going to come into contact with these things. Just like, if I am over sexualized.
I mean, who can tell everything? They're gonna tell your business to the neighbor, and they're gonna come home and tell you everybody's business in school. They're gonna come home with these questions, and if my child comes up, and I've seen it. Like I done had a little girl caught the humping on the playground. I'm like, the first grade. What are we doing? Okay.
Right.
Okay. So, for example, my child, she's 10. So, and she's a vocal 10-year-old. She's a very brilliant girl, so she's going to talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
Will I educate her? Yes. On just across the board. Like, we talk about a lot of stuff. Like, she's a very athletic and proud of black girl
today.
So,
Shaquella.
Oh, okay. So what did you say? Okay, well, let's talk about it. All right, first of all, don't pull it up. Secondly, we're going to have to mix this relationship with you and Shaquella because I don't agree with this relationship. But now we're going to talk about this. This is something that happens when adults do X, Y, and Z or such and such. We're going to address it, but y'all not friends no more. And then the parent that I'm going to the school and we got to talk to her mother too. Because look, chick, I don't know what's going on in your household. That's fine, but you let her keep that there.
So what if your child had not actually come to you and say, "Oh, well, Shaquella introduced me to Pornhub, but now I'm on my tablet. Now I'm looking at Pornhub."
It's nothing on that tablet that I don't remotely see within like 2 minutes of it coming up. Not a thing, and I can remotely lock her out of it. Remotely. What do you?
See, that's it's going to be a conversation.
Baby, you ain't hiding too much of nothing.
She monitors everything.
Like, not a thing.
At her house. You know what I'm saying? So it starts at home. And that's another part of the argument we got to address. This stuff needs to be addressed at home.
Right. You're saying that is an agenda, but you work with these children all the time. They are not getting it at home. So if it's not for the school to tell them, when and how do they learn it?
I'm gonna let you know.
You're expecting this to be done at home.
My parents never talked to me about the birds and the bees, and I'm 41 years old, and I have a son that's 15 years old, and they still haven't talked to me about it.
Absolutely.
You know, I know it's very late, but my parents never brought it up to me, never talked about it whatsoever.
Yeah, but okay,
and that's why my program exists.
It's a different generation now. Like everything's at their fingertips. So I feel like kids are more early on having access to things that we didn't, or they've normalized things that we were shocked. Like you tell them, like 10 people got shot this week, and they've normalized that because it's their norm now. Right. They can see it, they keep it moving, they don't care. Or it's on the internet all day, and everybody's post something rude. Like terrible, and it's likes. Okay, let's all watch it. It went viral. So they are. I don't want to say they're not dehumanized, but they are not so in tune with the emotional side of things that are going on.
So desensitized.
Well, desensitized. They are desensitized, and they've managed to normalize things that they shouldn't have.
Right.
So, in my opinion, either when you choose to introduce it to your child, or when it is introduced to your child and it is a forced conversation. But I don't think it should be a forced conversation because the school introduced it. And what I mean by that is, it's different if my daughter has a class and she comes on, she's like, something freaky going on here. Like, this is a little weird. And that's how she's going to say it. She has no censor. She's going to say exactly what comes to her mind. And sometimes I'm like, Lord Jesus. Okay. Like, I remember the first time I was not kidding. She was 3 years old. In the line of CVS. I'm right in the front. I was we in the store, it's a lady in front of me, just like a dude, got her little haircut or whatever. My 3-year-old, she's looking, and she's just looking, and she's looking at me, and she's looking at her, and she's looking back at me, and she goes, "Why is this lady dressed like a boy? And why is her hair all cut off?" Now she's 3, and I laughed, and the lady behind me laughed, and thought it was funny. Well, she was all in her feelings. Well, if you're offended that much, and what a 3-year-old has to say, then you are not comfortable in your own self. But that was a conversation that we had to have. She asked me a question. So at 3, we had that conversation. Okay, well, some women like to dress like boys. They decide that that's what they want to do. Some women like their hair cut short. This is what they can do that. And she's like, okay, fine. If she comes home, she has a conversation, or now because I know it's so relevant in our culture right now, and it's just right in her face. We are having these conversations. Hey, this is, they have these type of households and things like that. And this is what it is. Now, the extent of the exposure, I can monitor that. And that's another thing. When it's been done in school, I can't control or monitor that.
Right, but you can't control whether or not Shaquetta is coming and telling her anything either.
Man, these schools need to be talking about financial literacy and credit. They barely even teaching stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
Let alone rushing to show
I
somebody.
just feel like the school is not the place for it. Like, I feel like when
for good parents who feel like they need to keep their children informed, or they want to censor what their children see, hear, watch, all that kind, that's one thing. But you have to understand, your child is probably one of maybe 2 or 3 children out of all 30 in a class.
But what I'm saying is,
why is supervision and that?
Why has that been like the first thing that has been pushed so heavy?
I don't think it's the first thing that has been pushed.
It's been what else been pushed this heavy? Besides, I guess, when it's come time to, and I wasn't around back then, like segregation and stuff like that. Since you've been alive, what has been pushed this heavy? No, I'm not saying.
Wesley, I'm not that much.
See, that's not what I'm saying. I think you misunderstood my point. I'm saying, my words were, since you've been alive, what has been pushed harder and more financially, media-wise, televised, more than?
I think they did Stranger Danger. That was really heavy. When they did the Say No to Drugs, that was really heavy. A lot of these things come in and out, as things as things continue to happen and stuff like that. They always try to.
I think you're a spokesperson. It's cool. You gotta do your thing.
No, I'm serious. And again, I'm not in disagreement, but I'm just saying, for good parents, I'm telling you, your child is the minority. Mm-hmm. Your child is the minority. So you have to understand that they are going to school and they are being exposed to a lot of stuff.
They are.
When I'm talking about school, it was that it wasn't until I bought a child a cell phone that I realized that they were addicted to porn. That's what I'm talking about.
But in my personal opinion, that's been around these kids, it's more kids getting bullied for not having fresh sneakers on than it is getting bullied because they mother or father is coming up to school picking them up, and it's a mother and father. You got more kids in the school right now getting beat up or talked about or bullied because yo got all the Jordans on and yo got Skechers on, and everybody in the school bullying him over him.
Because the school has started to educate the children on that being in existence. It's not like a secret, but you better believe before they started educating the children, if 2 mothers came to something or 2 fathers came to something, that child probably couldn't even go to school for a few days. I don't know that we should be, because children are a lot smarter than we give them credit to be. That's the first thing. So again, the more we try to shield our children, there's always someone.
I ain't saying shield them. I'm not saying shield them. What I'm saying is this agenda, and just my personal opinion, is getting pushed way harder than anything else you can name. Like, in my personal opinion, like, especially remember, like, when the thing with 9/11 and all that happened or whatever, those Arabian kids and families were getting mistreated so bad in America, and they still do. It's not a whole big push for that. It's not no whole big parade and information text being put out there. It's not no whole big...
Because you have your leader of the country alienating them for who they are. Immigration, he's pushing them out. He is driving that agenda. So it's more likely that their parents are teaching them to hate, teaching them to do that stuff teaching them that, to treat people less than human beings.
And I think that's what my point is. It's a lot. My point is, it's a lot of other things that needs to be addressed as well. A lot.
And this is the one we chose. Why is this one?
Yeah.
Why is this one more important?
That's my thing.
Why, what? Okay, so like black people get treated like crap for a long time. I don't understand. Like where's our parade? Where's let's talk about it. Like
Where's our 40 acres in the
I don't understand. Like why isn't it, hey guys, not just Black History Month and let's talk about like Martin Luther King. I don't want to hear about him no more. I don't want to hear about him. Talk to me about somebody else. Let's talk about the inventions. Let's talk about the slave trade. Let's talk about Marcus Garvey. Let's talk about people of some other substance other than
So
Black
you can't implement that into your lesson plan?
It's limited to what we're learning. It is very limited, and there is a very small window to do it. Like it's not. It's a window. It is a window of time when you can do it. Now, outside of my curriculum and what I've taught, and then what I choose to hey, let's have a conversation. We got 10 minutes left. Let's talk about this or something like that. That's different. But as far as the curriculum wise, no,
and that's
not
right.
the
And that's what the problem is.
And so it is frustrating to see an opportunity such as this one and the platform given to such a purpose or time. I don't care about your sexuality. I don't care what you're doing. I don't. Like, if you're walking down the street, I cannot say that person is gay. I can't do that. I'm walking down the street. You can say that person is black. I'm not hiding it. I'm not throwing it in your face. It's just what it is. You can't walk down the street and say she's heterosexual. So why is that a conversation? I don't want to talk about this.
I do. So as teachers, you don't lobby together to talk about, especially when your audience is probably yeah. So it is no way for you all to get together because I think when
they say but they're scared though. A lot of teachers, like, if you really go talk to a lot of educators one-on-one, off the record, they'll talk to you about so much stuff that they are unhappy and uncomfortable with. But for them to speak on it in public, they're not speaking. Like, if you really go look at it, they really trying to take teaching the history of real slavery out of books in the educational system. They literally is trying to wipe it out. I think Texas was like one of the states that like almost abolished it from being taught in any of their schools.
So like it never existed, or
it's not.
We just don't even talk about
it. We ain't even talking about slavery at these schools. We're taking it out of our books. We're taking it out of our curriculum. We're not teaching, what slavery has done to individuals, what these people went through. They are literally trying to take that out of schools in certain states. But my thing is, like you just said, like out of all the things that we could fight for, it's just like
or push.
And I definitely, with your audience being predominantly black, I think that they should understand with all of the things that's happening in their neighborhood, because not only are they black, they're poor. So if we are going to teach them anything, let's change their mentality and let them understand that this is a circumstance.
But you know what is a problem? A major percentage of the educators are what? White. First of all, a huge, vast, large percentage of educators in the U.S. are primarily white. It's a small percentage that are people of color. So how I went to a conference and they like, how do you want me to properly feel comfortable as being a white man or white woman teaching a history class about my ancestors enslaving black people? They don't even feel comfortable themselves as being an educator. Only thing they try to do is when they go to Black History Month, they pump up Martin Luther King throughout the whole 30 days. They talk about MLK. It's almost like no other personal situation get addressed. It's like because Martin Luther King kind of got this like glory path. They ain't talking about the ugliness. They ain't talking about us getting ripped apart by doves. They ain't talking about water and light.
When you have Black History Month, it usually starts and stops around like the civil rights movement. It doesn't go beyond that. Like before that, black people didn't exist in America. And we started existing, but as far as school goes, we started existing during civil rights. And then that's why we talk about Martin Luther King. And we kind of skim over Malcolm X because he was a little rugged. So we got to skim the top of that one a little bit. You know what I mean? Like there are different things that we talk about the baseball players. And we talk about, we talk about the athletes because we're good for that. And we there are things that we got to box and we got to stay in. And like I said, it started on civil rights and then we move forward. So prior to that, we don't talk about that. Those aren't conversations. Those aren't topics. And elementary school is a good age to start those conversations before the civil rights, way before that. Because, like I said, they are sponges. They will learn it quick. They will understand it. They will get it. And that can, first of all, give them a sense of foundation and understand. Like, give them a sense of pride, which is lacking in our communities.
Yes.
They need that. But no, we want to talk about this damn girl and her girlfriend. I don't want to talk about this. I don't care what you're doing. Sis, I don't care. Love who you want. Let's see.
You can't tell
free
me
love.
it's
All
not
right, look, come on.
forced.
Everybody can love whoever they want. Now, can we move on? Like, if I teach that at the beginning of the day, muffin, look, love who you want. We'll talk about it later. Boom. Now we're going to talk about something real. Like, tell me with 100 times 90s or something. Like, do something like that. Because none of our kids can read, but they know about homosexuality.
Right.
Like, none of them can read in Baltimore City. Not one. Like, 13% are on reading level. How is that okay? We talking about homosexuality. We talking about sexual preferences. I don't care about that.
How much time do you spend on that?
Okay, so that is where the choice of the actual educator comes in. I don't have to teach it, but if I choose to, I can teach it all year long. There are different books for different things, like that I can pull and say, all right, because reading is a subject that you have all year round. So for every reading assignment that I wanted to do with my elementary school students, if I chose to do a book that was about any type of sexuality, I can. So that's where choice comes in. My choice.
So why can't we do a book on inventions?
They have to be on our curriculum list. But I mean, we have seriously, we have a list of books that we're allowed to teach from. Like you can't just randomly go and get your own book and be like, okay, we're reading this. It's not works. Everything is, it's the uniformity to it. It is. So, like, thank God they're taking our Common Core out of schools this year and we get the new one. Yeah, we gonna go for PD coming up. But anyway, so we get a new curriculum, we'll see how this one goes and everything like that. And I guarantee you, I'm gonna come back in here and be like, guess what? It went from 30 to 90 books on it.
So the whole unrest, that didn't bring up anything that.
Not as far as curriculum, no. Now conversations with my kids, hey, how many of y'all heard about the Freddie Gray situation? My hands went up. All right, so let's have this conversation. How do y'all feel? Talk to me. Talk to my baby. Talk to my fifth graders. How y'all feel? How does that make y'all feel? Let's have a conversation about it. Now, after we have this conversation about it, I want y'all to write this up. I want y'all to, of course, I'm still going to educate my babies, but they need to be aware of what's going on in their world.
Right.
I don't care about your sexual preference. That's not something. I don't want to have a conversation about that.
Right.
And it's not saying that I have anything against it. I don't want to have a conversation about your heterosexual preference neither. Right. I just don't think this is the space for it. It's too many other things that I can fill my space with. And I can fill their space with. It's too many other things. And I'm already competing with the video games. I'm already competing with the Instagram and the cell phones and stuff like that. I got to put the phones in. I call a phone person. Put these in here. That's where they stand. And this is, I'm already competing with too much. I don't want sexuality to be another one. And then between time, I'm already competing with, you're right, the lack of parenting and the lack of home support. I'm already competing with these things. So why, when I have these kids' ears, why is it that this is the platform that y'all gave me? This is dumb. I'm not doing it. No, it's stupid. I don't want to do this.
I mean, I think as long as it's optional, again.
But for how long?
What do you mean?
How long is it going to be optional? You have to understand that things start and they progress. Mm-hmm. So for right now, it's optional. Right now, it's optional. But as it progresses, because before when it first started, it wasn't even on there.
Right.
Then it got introduced, and then it got more books, and we like, so
about that stuff.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So as it progresses, how long is it going to be optional?
You said what?
I said we didn't learn about that.
And guess what? Let me tell you something. You can't tell me and enforce it. If you take a couple of hours of your day and go volunteer at like 5 schools, and you tell me you don't see so many little boys and little girls walking around these schools that are living a such a way, we never saw that when we was young. And I'm not saying they wasn't hiding. It wasn't that many kids living like that when we was young. Even if they really was that, it wasn't that many. Nowadays, it's almost like you go to the schools and
I mean, you see them younger and younger.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Well,
it's
because
forced.
it's getting introduced to
It's
them,
for-
and you are
exactly.
able to manipulate the minds of children. That if I'm telling you, if I'm introduced, that's just like when you have like a child that is a war criminal as soon as he turns 18. How am I a war criminal? I got kidnapped from my home at 5 and had to kill my neighbor at 6. Why am I being crucified for this? But you manipulated my mind for so long, and you introduced this to me and made this my norm. So now that you made this my norm, you can't tell me that doesn't have an influence. You can't tell me that all y'all are this way. Like, so make sure. Everybody, no. I'm manipulated. Somewhere along the way, your mind was manipulated. Somewhere along the way, there was something that happened. Hello.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know. I didn't get to the rest of my question.
Oh,
But it's
it's
okay.
Wesley fault.
We can pick them up. But this was a really good discussion.
Yes, it was.
If I were in a situation and it was my child that people had to adjust to, I wouldn't want to be the only person saying, it is who you are. Because, if it is who they are, it's going to be who they are. But I don't want, because kids are cruel, adults are even more cruel. So, again, I don't think it's something that should be ignored and then not talked about. Because then, if it happens in your classroom, I don't want you to be thrown back like, what do I say? And then you're lost. So, I don't know if it's even on the same lines of cultural sensitivity. I don't know. But I definitely think that is a discussion to be had. And not just because, I have a business where, I talk about this because this kind of stuff. Because these are the same kids that if I can't come to you, if my parent alienates me because of who I am, they say, oh, you get out. Now, I'm out on the street and now I got to have sex just to eat and have shelter. Then I get caught up in sex trafficking because it's somebody, a predator, waiting for me to get out there. Oh, your parents don't love you? Mm-hmm, I love you. Or whatever. So, it gets a lot deeper than just, on a surface. So, I personally think that is important to talk about.
I wish we fought to end poverty as hard as we fight for this.
Yeah,
I wish we fought for real life black equality. No, equity. Not equality, it's the wrong term.
Yeah.
I wish we fought for black equity as hard as we fight for the rights of the LGBTQ community. Because in my personal opinion, that is the hardest driven force right now that is being promoted and worked and pushed on. It's like black equity is almost like, oh, get over it. Y'all were slave before, get over it. Oh, you black and poor, get over it. Oh, just get over it.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that you're trying to erase history. I really don't like that. I don't know that makes a lot of sense because then you're really trying to erase black identity. And that's unfortunate.
And
But again, is it up to the parents to teach that at home? You know that they're taking it out of school, and your children, they don't know anything about black history other than Martin Luther King.
But that gets deep too. A lot, right, it's a whole different story. A lot of this stuff is ignorance getting passed around. And when you raised in a community of ignorance, and I use the term ignorance because ignorance means the unknown, like you don't know this. So if you raise in a community of ignorance, and then now your community nor your school is teaching anything about what you actually went through and why you like this, you're born into that, and then now you thinking, oh, black people are supposed to be down and out, and white people are supposed to be at the top, because you don't know what happened in life that made us to be so low and for them to be so high. You wasn't taught about slavery, so you just think, oh, I'm born like this, and this is what it's supposed to be, instead of you being taught that, no, we went through so much hardship. That's why we living like this. Like, what about like those kids who are living in the times where as though they not being taught? There is a reason why we're so far behind. We're not being taught that. They just living it. And that's my point. My point is, we how do we pick up on that so strong? But so many other things need to be addressed and they not. But you know, what time is it? We got 2 minutes, so we getting out of here.
Anything that you want to say to, close up about the things that we talked about? We're going to pick this up next week. Tony Cherry, you're late. How did you miss this one? This is great. But, I still have 2 questions on the board. Kind of like piggybacking off of one of the last topics that we had, but I'll bring my questions back next week. But this was really good. Any messages of the day or anything that you want to say?
My only closing discussion and topic is, no matter what circumstances, no matter where you're from, no matter what you're going through, you can be great. It's just about you. You got to put the hard work in. No matter who don't believe in you, no matter who's trying to hold you down, and no matter how many doors close on you, you can be successful in some way, and you can get it done. But you got to believe in yourself, and you got to get the hard work, put the work in, because nobody going to do it for you. And that's my message of the day, and I'm clocking out.
All right, thank you, Chrissy. Thank you for everything. You didn't want to speak. You really helped us out. You added a lot. Made the discussion more robust. As always, thank you, Aisha, the next Wendy Williams. Are you doing a topic for next week? Because I probably won't take 2 hours on my question.
You probably have more questions by then.
Yeah. Definitely make sure we're ready. Always check out Open Wide with Neeuq Mondays on WMSK Online Radio. Check us out on YouTube. We are there. Check out State versus Us magazine. Mark your calendar for October the 20th, 2018. We have a domestic violence conference coming up for you in Baltimore City. Just make sure you're checking us out. Make sure you're supporting us. Until next week, we're going to sign off. Have a good night.
Are we leaving now? 'Cause my